Welcome to Piano Video Lessons Year 1, Unit 2. Today's lesson is the last lesson in Unit 2, and it is a finger gym. We're going to be learning two pentascales, the G pentascale and the F major pentascale. And this is video number 32 on YouTube. To get the printable materials for all of these lessons, visit pianovideolessons.com, linked up here in the info card. All right, so pentascales. I told you before that pentascales are like the basis of playing music, because when we play, we can use the notes from the scale to create melodies and harmonies and all kinds of very good things. So we're going to be using these great tools as building blocks for playing more complicated pieces and understanding music better. So when we learned to play the C pentascale, we learned that we can walk up and down the 5 notes of the pentascale and play the broken and solid triad at the end that uses 3 notes. So when we're playing these, we can use the same pattern and move it to another key. So what I want you to look at right now is the distance between the notes that we're playing. So I'm just going to make a little note here. I'm just going to make it over here on this side. So if I start on C and then I go to the next note, is there a black key in between? Yes, there is. We call that a whole step. Anytime we go from one key to another and there's a key in between, we call that a whole step. So we started on C and then we went a whole step. Then we went from D, we went to this next note, E. Is there a key in between? Yes, there is. That's a whole step. So we went C, whole step, whole step. Now we went to, after E, we went to F. Oh, is there a key in between there? Not that I can see. So that's called a half step because there's no way to play anything in between. So we call that a half step. And then from this last note, from this F, we went to G. And there is a key in between here. So is that a whole step or a half step? It's a whole step. This is the pattern for pentascales. The pentascale pattern is whole, whole, half, whole. And anytime you start on any key on the piano, you can build a pentascale by using that pattern. So now we're going to go to G, and we're going to build a pentascale. So what do we need first? We need a whole step. So from G, to go a whole step, we need to have a key in between, and we do. We have a black key. So the next note we need is A. And then from A, we need to go another whole step. So here's a key in between. Great. We're going to play the next note then. B. So G, A, B. Now we need a half step. So let's look here. From B to the next key. Is this a half step? Is there a key in between? There is not. So we're good to go. We can just play this next note, which is C. And then we need a whole step to finish. So to finish this with a whole step, we need to go from C, skip a key, and up to D. So there we have it. G, A, B, C, D. So this uses all white keys. It just starts on a different note. It starts on the note G. So I'm going to go ahead and play it using the music. G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, repeat. We're going to play this 3 times with the right hand. Repeat it again. And then we're going to play our broken triad, G, B, D, B, G, all 3. So the notes of a C triad were C, E, G. The notes of a G triad are G, B, D. The C major triad has 3 white keys. The G major triad has 3 white keys. There is a G minor. We're not learning it today, but it sounds like this. It's still a G triad, but it's a G minor. So here we have the G major triad. So we could now play the left hand. Walking up and down 3 times. That's once. Repeat it. That's twice. Repeat it. Now on to the triad, the broken form. G, B, D, B, G, all 3. So there we have it. Let's do both hands. Wow, 6 notes at once. Those are hard, aren't they? I hope you got good at those playing the C pentascale, but if you didn't, that's okay. You've got another chance to try now. All right, so now let's learn the pentascale that starts on F. if I just play white keys, ooh, it's gonna sound funny. There's gotta be a black key in this one. So let's start off on F and use the same pattern that we used before and work out our pentascale. So from F, the first thing we need is a whole step. So we need to have a key in between. There's a black key here. So the next key, we're safe to play a white key. We're gonna play a G. Now we need another whole step. So from G, there's a black key here. We're gonna go to the next key here. So G, skip that one, play this one. So we're gonna go to A from here. And now what do we need? A half step or a whole step? Let's check. We need a half step. Okay, so no keys in between. So that means if we go from A to here, ooh, there's a key in between here. We're not allowed to have any keys in between. So what are we gonna do? We're on A. We could play A way up here. Now, no keys in between. That means play this black key. Okay, so this black key here. I'm going to draw a little box there. We're going to play that mystery black key. Okay, F, G, A, black key. Then we need a whole step. What does that mean? Skip one key. So should I play this note? No, I need to skip this note and play C. So I'm going to have F, G, A, black key, and C. All right, F, G, A, black key, C. So what's that black key called? It has a name. F, G, A, black key, C. It's called B flat. So keys can have, if I was looking at this key, there's two black keys around it. There's one here and there's one here. So this is A. And these two black keys can both be named in reference to A. One is A flat and one is A sharp. Now, if I look at this note B, which would have been the next note, F, G, A, B, there's only one black key beside it, and it's going in the left or downward direction. So it's B flat. And the symbol for flat is this. That is a flat sign. So B flat is written like this, B flat. So let me just tell you a little bit about these black keys, because obviously you're curious now. I've piqued your interest, and if you haven't learned these before, you want to know more. This is not the official lesson today. We will revisit this at a future time, but just so you know, notes that move to the left are going lower, and if your car had a flat tire, would it go up or down? It would go down. So flats go down. And if you sat on a sharp tack, would you sit up or would you stay sitting down? You would get up. So sharps go up. So the symbol for a flat is this, and the symbol for a sharp, and that reminds me of like a pin sticking like that. See, it's got a little arrow at the bottom. Flat, pointing down. So a flat goes down, and a sharp looks like this. That looks really like sharp. You wouldn't want to sit on something that's shaped like this. So a sharp goes up, and that to me it looks like it points up a little bit. These little arms are going up, like so. So if I'm thinking about a white key here, A, I could go this way to A flat, and I could go this way to A sharp. So this black key, here's A. This black key has two names. I just called it B flat, because here's B, and I went this way, so I went B flat, or if I was thinking about A, I could have called it A sharp. So here's A sharp, or here's B flat. Now I'm going to teach you more about that later. That was just a quick interlude into the explanation of black keys and what their names are. So here's the pentascale. F, G, A, B flat, C, B flat, A, G, repeat it. F, G, A, B flat, C, B flat, A, G. Now notice when I'm playing this, my fingers are placed above the keys so that I don't have to move to get to this black key. I'm not back here and jumping in every time I need a flat. I just shifted my whole hand pattern in a little bit because I could play anywhere on these keys. I don't have to always play out at the ends here. That would be awkward. So I'm just going to move my whole hand in so that I can easily play this B flat. Again, nice curved fingers. The only difference is this one, when it relaxes onto its key, it's going to land a little higher up than the other ones, just plopping down on top of that black key there. And then we have the triad, F, A, C, A, F, all three. Now, did I play any black keys in the triad? I did not. That's because the triad uses 1, 3, and 5, and we have our black key on the 4th note in this pentascale. Let's do the left hand. Starts with F, F, G, A, B flat, C, B flat, repeat it. Here we go. Notice that my hand is playing in the black zone. I'm not sticking my hand in and out to get to those notes. And then the triad, white keys, hold for 2, all 3. And then let's do it again, both hands. Keeping my beat steady, listening for notes that land at the same time as each other. This can be tricky to coordinate. That's the last one. Bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, all 3. Excellent. All right, so that's the end of Unit 2. In Unit 3, we're going to be expanding on our coordination skills. We're going to be learning to do some improvising, and it's going to be lots of fun. So join me in Unit 3, Lesson 1, which is video 33. Thanks for watching.